Good morning, everyone. It's so good to be here with you all here in Walyalup. So before I begin, let me begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land in which we're meeting today, the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. Let's give thanks for just sharing this incredible country with them and really just embrace this beautiful state. And can I also acknowledge important people who are in the room today? Firstly, the local member for Fremantle, Simone McGurk. I'd also like to acknowledge my great team and my parliamentary colleagues, the cabinet members, our federal members who are here today, all members of caucus, and importantly, just all candidates that ran in the 2025 election. Can I also pay my respects to life members of the Labor Party in the room today? State Secretary Mark Reid providing great leadership to the party, and Assistant State Secretary Adelaide Kidson. I want to congratulate WA Labor President Jess Smith on her election and acknowledge once again Lorna Clark for her great time and service to the party as State President. And to you, the entire WA Labor team who have helped put this conference together, thank you. It's such an honour to be here in person, to see the party members, delegates, representatives of the union movement, MP, everyone that keeps the wheels moving of this great party. And although I'm well into my third year as the leader of the WA Labor Party, this is actually my first time I've addressed state conference in person. COVID forced me to phone it in 2023 for that state conference. And last year I wouldn't change a thing. We didn't hold a state conference because, delegates, we were busy launching what became the most successful election campaigns in the WA Labor Party history. And I'm proud of everyone here, and I'm thankful because each and every one of you helped WA Labor to once again climb to the summit of electoral success. 2025 was a special kind of victory. No COVID, no extenuating circumstances, just a hard-fought campaign steeped firmly in the Labor values. We put our beliefs out there for all to see. This was about ensuring every Western Australian had a home and can access the healthcare we need when we need it. Remaining the strongest economy in the country so that we can continue to create quality jobs for working people. Following our destiny as a renewable energy powerhouse and putting pride back into the words made in WA. Everyone cast the 2025 as the equalising election. A poll that would bring the parliament back into the realms of historic equilibrium, where the Liberal Party would be restored to its former potency. Now, I'm not denying they clawed back some ground. There are some new members within the opponent's ranks, but they will be doing their work from the holes that the extremists dug for them over many years. And once again, WA Labor stands in contrast. The campaign we all ran, the scrutiny we placed on our opponents, the vision we put to the state, it was heard and it resonated. And it once again achieved a sizable majority for the WA Labor Party. 46 seats. Think about that. 46 seats from an astonishingly high watermark in 2021. The tide barely went out. Delegates, you did this. You got behind each and every candidate, every minister. You got behind me. And while that's a debt that can never be repaid, what we can do is deliver. Because government is a privilege that should not be taken for granted. On the night of the election, I challenged all of my team to remain humble, to get back to work, to stay focused on our priorities of jobs, health and housing, of building safe and inclusive communities, protecting and restoring our environment for the future, and delivering quality infrastructure and services across the state. And that's exactly what we've been doing every day since the 8th of March, 2025. We've connected Metronet to the suburbs, transformed the way people move in and around and connect to this city. Since the election, we've opened the Thornley-Coburn link, the Byford rail extension, we've opened the new elevated rail on the Armidale line, and soon we'll be opening the new Midlands station and reopening the Australian rail service. It's good to see the Bunbury delegates down here. We're building more homes. We're skilling more tradies and nurses through free TAFE. We're offering meaningful redress to the stolen generations. We're creating new public holidays. We're advancing globally significant projects like AUKUS and critical minerals. We've helped secure World Heritage status for our ancient rock art collection at Murujuga. And we've announced a new marine park for the entire Exmouth Gulf, adding to the 6.5 million hectares of new conservation estate created under the WA Labor government. And over the last 8.5 years, we've achieved a lot, but the work is not done. To become an even longer-term government, we need to continue to deliver for the community. And that's what this term is all about, delivery. In recent days, we've made some big decisions around the delivery of healthcare in this state because we know the system, our hospital staff, have been put to the test. We know that with a growing population and an ageing population, we need more capacity, more beds, and more staff. And we know the old ways of doing things won't be enough. So, after the election, we decided to challenge the status quo. We reformed government departments. We appointed the state's first health infrastructure minister in Minister John Carey. And we've instilled a sense of urgency right across the public sector to build, build, build. This work has reframed our approach to a number of projects. And it boils down to this. Should we tread water or should we make waves? Delegates, we're going to make waves, big waves. We want every Western Australian to be able to access the healthcare we need when we need it. And to do this, we need to deliver more hospital capacity. At the election, we made a commitment to redevelop the Royal Perth Hospital Emergency Department. Delegates, we will exceed that promise. We won't just redevelop RPH ED, we're going to build an entirely new one. And it's this new ED that will form the first stage of the wider redevelopment of the Royal Perth Hospital. To show that we mean it, the ED will be the first 2 levels of a new 6-storey block, which means more capacity for patients and services, a modern facility befitting a modern city, where we can integrate the latest technology rather than compromise, where we can build more capacity rather than retrofit, where we can help more people to a higher standard than ever before. Not only that, we will get to build it faster and with less disruption. And in the Peel region, we'll do the same thing. We won't just redevelop Peel Health Campus, we're going to build a bloody entirely new one. A 6-storey hospital with more capacity, a new ED, new cancer treatments, new mental health centre, new palliative care, pretty much new everything. The cost is comparable to a redevelopment, but it will be built faster and to a higher standard. And there will be no disruption to patients. And at the end of it, we'll still have the old hospital that we can use for services like aged care. And may I remind delegates, we're only in a position to make these sort of bold decisions because we brought Peel Health Campus back into public hands. This was one of my proudest moments as the former health minister. And delegates, we will deliver a better health system during our 3rd term in office. We are entering a new era of hospital construction. Yes, there's Peel in Royal Perth. But don't forget, we're also building a new women and babies hospital, a new emergency department at St John of God Midland, and upgrading Osborne Park Hospital. This is on top of the $308 million upgrade of Joondalup Hospital, which we undertook as a priority for the northern suburbs. And in the regions, the Bunbury Hospital redevelopment, the biggest regional hospital build the state has ever seen. Tom Price Health Service redevelopment, Paraburdoo Hospital, Mullawa Hospital redevelopment, the expansion of the Albany Health Campus, and meanwhile, the Geraldton Health Campus rebuild is almost complete. It's not a bad list, and because this represents the largest hospital building program in Western Australia's history. More beds, more theatres, more emergency department capacity, $4.7 billion of investment in this term alone. But what if we were able to do even more, bring even more public health beds on stream quicker? What if we could provide more operating theatres in the space of just a few short months? That's a real scenario playing out right now because your WA Labor government is taking the unprecedented step of buying the Mount Lawley private hospital. That's around 100 new public beds. It's 8 more operating theatres available to public patients for surgery. And there's additional land there which we could use to expand health services or aged care down the track. Importantly, it would bring back even more healthcare back into public hands. And delegates, it could all happen within the space of a year. Delegates, our record $4.7 billion hospital building program is not just a case of tinkering or half measures. It's the largest health infrastructure program in the state's history. A major transformation, a catalyst for lasting change, a clear and tangible plan. And importantly, we're not on this journey alone. We can't do this alone. We have an incredible partner in the Albanese Labor government, and they are doing their part too. Opening more urgent care clinics, bolstering Medicare and bulk billing, making prescription drugs cheaper, and partnering with our government on projects like Midlands Expanded ED. And why is all this happening? Because this is what Labor does. It's in our DNA. In fact, I can bet that looking after people, the vulnerable, the unwell, the disadvantaged, is the very reason many of you got involved in the Labor movement in the first place. After all, it was Labor that created the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme in 1948. It was Labor that created Medicare, one of the best universal health programs in the world. It was Labor that protected Medicare when the Liberals tried to privatise it. And here in WA, it is Labor that is ushering in a new era of building hospitals. Delegates, our aspirations for our hospitals, our healthcare system, our aged care are an indicator of the kind of society we want to be. It's a reminder of what's important, the well-being of all Western Australians, and how we treat the most vulnerable in our community, and the importance of setting our state up for the long term. But under the WA Labor government, it's not just health we're setting up for future generations. It's the economy, it's skills, it's jobs, and it's attracting the projects and industries to WA that will shape the next century. Making more things here, becoming the largest naval maintenance and shipbuilding hub in the Southern Hemisphere, becoming a renewable energy powerhouse, and helping our major trading partners to decarbonise. This is the vision we took to the election, and this is the vision that we are delivering. Now, I want to talk for a moment about one of the most exciting job-creating opportunities for Western Australia that Western Australia has during this term of government, indeed over the next 50 years. And this is in the area of green iron. We often hear about China being the world's factory, and that's because, based on the fact that China accounts for around about 30% of global manufacturing. But let's compare that to Western Australia's dominance in iron ore. The Pilbara accounts for around 40% of global supply. Last year, the value of these iron ore exports was more than $115 billion. But we can do better than this. Consider the value of selling these exports not as rocks, but as a refined product. It's more than triple the current value, more than $300 billion a year, not to mention the thousands of jobs that it will create. But we need to act now, before other countries have a chance to get the jump on us. I won't let WA be left behind. As in health, it's all about delivery. Labor looks forward, not to the nostalgia of the past. And the future delegates is in green steel. Decarbonising a supply chain that contributes roughly 1/10 of all total global emissions. Processing more iron ore in WA using our abundant solar and wind resources. Creating value-added low-carbon precursors for global steel industry. Exporting embedded renewable energy to help our major trading partners to decarbonise. It is an existential moment for us and for the country to pivot and begin adding more value to our exports of raw materials. And we are backing green iron projects right across the state, from Kwinana, the centre of the universe, to the Midwest and to the Pilbara. A major plank of the Made in WA plan that we took to the election. Now, while exporting green iron is a major opportunity, there is also an opportunity to use the finished green steel products in our own projects. Western Australia currently imports 100% of the steel used in construction. The steel that reinforces the foundations of our hospitals, our homes, our railways, our road infrastructure and transmission line all comes from outside WA. Not only is that a lot of travel for a bit of steel, it also exposes the state to global supply chain risks. We have a lot of old steel in Western Australia, from the decommissioning of old mines and offshore oil and gas, to car bodies, retired rail cars, and building waste. Establishing a green steel recycling industry in WA is a key focus of our Made in WA plan. But fledgling local industries sometimes need a bit of support from government, a foundation from which to grow. And today, I can announce that your WA Labor government is stepping up. Soon we'll be seeking proposals from suppliers of local green steel to go into major government projects. Projects that, like the hospitals we announced in recent days, will have locally produced steel products. It's a signal of the intent to this new green steel industry. We want you here. We want to decarbonise and we want to create local jobs. To kick off a whole new industry for Western Australia, using the government's buying power. The government will take a if not, why not approach to contracting that will explicitly preference WA-made green steel. It's all about giving producers confidence to invest and helping WA build a cleaner, stronger industrial base for the future. It'll mean that when we build government projects, we're not just creating jobs in construction, we are creating jobs in steel, good jobs, apprenticeships and opportunities in local workshops and fabrication yards. That is what Made in WA is all about. Using our skills, our resources and our ingenuity to build value here. It's what we're doing across the economy. WA-made Metronet rail cars, WA-made iron ore cars, WA-made poles and wires from advanced manufacturing facilities in Picton and Forestfield, WA-made household batteries, WA-made cures and medicines, and an entire WA-made defence industry with ever-growing capability. Which gets me to our third key priority during our third term in government, housing. All of these exciting new industries need workers. Not only do we have the strongest economy in the nation, we also have the fastest growing population in the nation. So, as long as I'm Premier, so long as Labor is in power, building more homes will be one of our top priorities. And I will say this, just as we are investing in our hospitals, we are also building a massive pipeline of building homes. Western Australia built 22,600 homes last financial year. That's a 25% increase on the previous year, the strongest growth in the nation. Our government is trying everything to cut red tape and accelerate supply. We created the best planning system in the country. We're training and recruiting more tradies. We have record investment in social and affordable housing. But we know we need to do more, particularly in our regions, where the availability of housing is the biggest impediment to attracting skilled workers that our new regional industries need. And the availability of housing for government workers is one of the biggest challenges to providing the services in our major regional centres. So, regional housing will be a major focus of our government during our life this term. And we will have much more to say about this over the next year. Continuing to deliver jobs, health, housing, the top priorities for this term of government. But I want to assure each and every one of you here today and the wider WA community that we have not forgotten the cost of living pressures for Western Australians. We are continuing to provide direct cost of living relief support where we can. However, the best cost of living support that we can provide is to keep our economy strong, so that every Western Australian can get a quality local job, so that every Western Australian can depend on the quality public services, particularly in health, and that every Western Australian has a home. At the start of this address, I mentioned the incredibly tight campaign we fought together in March. In the time since, we've hit the ground running. The WA Labor government has a clear vision that it is following. And it's not the kind of vision that's for the short term, nor can I say that it's not the kind of vision for the faint-hearted. But we're not deterred. While our opponents are spending their time debating amongst themselves, questioning whether to pursue a net zero future, we are simply getting on with our plan. Rewiring our grid to prepare for renewables, phasing out coal by 2030, the only state in Australia to do so. But this is a plan that needs following through beyond the election cycle. It needs an unwavering focus of the task at hand. It's something that energises me every single day. And that's why each of you today has my word that I will be leading this great party of ours to the 2029 WA state election. I will lead this brilliant team of talented ministers and Labor MPs to the election that will determine which party sees this great state through to the next decade. And based on what I've seen of our opponents, who essentially are the political equivalent of a broken TV, all sound, no vision, I know we can win. I know we can win if we stay focused on the priorities of the community, jobs, health and housing, and continue to deliver. Then WA Labor will have the great honour of seeing our vision through. That's the thing about being in a party that caters to everyday Western Australians. We accept that real issues cannot be solved at the drop of a hashtag or a bumper sticker. There might be times when you disagree with the party. We get that, right? But we know that true change only occurs when you bring people with you. That's been our method. Govern well, prioritise the fundamentals, keep the economy strong. Then, and only then, will the public trust you to undertake progressive reform. And that's what we've done over the years. Labor is the party that passed voluntary assisted dying laws 6 years ago next month. Labor is the party changing discriminatory laws around reproductive technology and making parenthood more accessible. Labor is the party offering redress to members of Western Australia's stolen generation. We are the party creating millions of hectares of new conservation estate. We introduced industrial manslaughter laws. We've made public transport more affordable, more accessible and more efficient and more effective than before. We decriminalised abortion. Labor has stared down certain local governments that for decades have stifled more housing. We understand that not everyone gets Easter Saturday off. We are a party that wants to continue the journey of reconciliation with our First Nations people. We are the party that wants to build more homes. We are the party that opens women's shelters, doesn't close them down. And delegates, with your help, we can keep doing these things. With your help, we can remain the strongest economy in the nation, the best place in the world to get a quality local job. We'll remain a global leader in the resources sector. We'll diversify our economy for the future. We'll pursue a goal of becoming a renewable energy powerhouse and making more things here. We'll ensure every Western Australian has a home, can access the healthcare we need when we need it, and that no matter where we live, in our suburbs, our towns, our regional centres, our remote communities, all Western Australians have the infrastructure that we need. Delegates, thank you for your support. Thank you for your unity. Thank you for rolling up your sleeves every day, helping this WA Labor government deliver for the people of Western Australia. There's a lot more to do, so let's get onto it. Thank you.